just to make sure that you're seated and you have your kids with you. One of the things that the state leaders asked us is to make sure we don't have kids just running around untethered. So if you just keep an eye on people. If we do have any emergencies, I always like to be a flight attendant. There's an exit over there. There's an exit back the way you came in, either way. So that's all good. Stream Charter School, we've just started our 6th year, if you can believe it, which means this is our 11th showcase already. We do 2 a year, winter and spring. But I just wanted to tell you a couple of things that we're feeling like we're being successful with. I'm still ready for some of us to listen, I guess. If anybody's talking right next to you, turn to them and say, "Oh, please, I want to hear this." Oh, good, a few of you did that. Anyway, we feel like we've been having some success. We've received our state scores recently, and that seems to be one of the benchmarks that the state likes to look at when they look at our schools and decide if we're doing a good job or not. When we started 5.5 years ago as Stream Charter School, we tested all our kids on a standard benchmark test and found out our kids were scoring about the same as everyone else in the area and a little bit lower than the state average. And so we worked hard that first year, and at the end of that first year, we rose above that area, and we were exactly at the state average for success. We had 44% of our students were considered proficient. They'd met standard or exceeded standard in language arts, and 33% of our students met or exceeded standard in math. And that was exactly what happened as a state as a whole. That was the average score for the state. So now, at the end of our 5th year, we found that the state average for language arts had moved from 44% to almost 51% of the students in California are considered proficient, having met standard or exceeded their grade level standards. And at Stream, this last year, we ended the year with 60.89% of our students who were considered met or exceeded standards. With math, the state moved over the 5-year period from 33% to 39.73% of the students had met or exceeded the standard. At Stream, we went from 33% to this last year, at the end of the year, 53.7% of our students. Now, I get excited about that, but here's the part that I get a little more excited about. We have put a lot of effort into our interventions in trying to make sure all students are successful. Last year, we actually got an award from an organization that said that we were closing that achievement gap for kids, and we were really moving some kids up that were not meeting standard. When we started, about 35% of our kids did not meet grade level standards. And at the end of this 5-year period in language arts, we were down to, got to look for a minute, language arts, we were 11.73% of our kids did not meet standard. The state average was 26.73. And in math, only 16% of our students did not meet their grade level standards, and the state average was 34.86%. So we are really happy with what your students are doing, and we attribute a lot of it to the music program. The research tells us that the music program will raise student achievement levels by 18 to 20%. So we have students that have music every day. They love it, they have a ball, and you're going to see tonight a lot of what they're doing that's helping with that achievement. Now, I have a friend of mine named Chloe that's here somewhere that's going to come up. She's going to lead us in the flag salute. We do this every morning at Stream. She's an expert at it. Perfect spot right there. All right. She's just about to tell you to stand up and get ready to do some stuff.
Stand up. Look at the flag. Salute, pledge. One
students are going to be lining up along the walls. Try not to step on any of them. We have our first grade, our kindergartners are going to be taking the stage right now. And then they're going to exit back out the same way. So at the end of their number, watch for your kids. And hopefully you only grab the ones that belong to you on their way out.
We have a wonderful group of kindergarten and first graders, don't we? Let's give another quick round of applause. Yes. And not only that, but we have absolutely wonderful teachers at our school. I am so glad to work with all these people. And our kindergarten teacher, you saw her, that's Melissa Frazier. Melissa, you want to pop your head out and wave? There's Melissa. And then Gwen Freeberg, she's our first grade teacher. And absolutely wonderful job they do with our kids here. I always like to give them some onus over what they want to perform in the show. So we said, what song should we do for the show? They said, My Country 'Tis of Thee. Okay, that was the one that they wanted to do. They love that one. It's kind of fun too because it's kind of got some old language. There was a lot of things that we had to talk about, what it means. And they just love that one, so we wanted to sing that one for you. We're going to sing another one that we absolutely love. It's more of a Thanksgiving song, but man, we just couldn't pass it up. It's a good one. We also wrote a custom verse just for our school in there, and you're going to hear it. And so we're going to perform that for you now.
Let
take away Thomas. Thomas and Raymond have been helping us lead these chants. So, Thomas, take it away.
Odds and evens. Ready, set, go. 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. Being even is so great. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Being odd is also fine. Money, ready, go. Penny, penny, easily spent. Copper, round and worth 1 cent. Nickel, nickel, thick and fat. You're worth 5 cents, I know that. Dime, dime, little and thick. I remember you're worth 10. Quarter, quarter, big and bold. You're worth 25, I am told. Dollar, dollar, green and long. With 100 cents you can't go wrong.
As we talked about the chants, we heard a wonderful money chant and a wonderful odds and evens chant. We're going to hear a chant now from the 3rd graders. And what it's about, let me get this poster here and I'm going to have our friend Archer hold it. What's it about is the different parts of speech. And so we're going to share that with you now, but before I do, I can't take credit. We're not working a lot on the different parts of speech and music time. They're doing it in their classroom, and these 2 classes have wonderful teachers as well. So I want to introduce them quickly. Melissa Bailey, 2nd grade teacher, and Miss Emery. We'll make her poster right out. And so they're the ones that came up with the chants and taught them all that material, and so they're just showing off for you now a little bit. And they're going to do the water chant, and you can see. If you can't see, I'll explain it. It's a chart. It has all the different words and different colors, and so they learn all the different elements of nouns and verbs and all that fun stuff. So they're going to share that with you now, and ready, hit it.
Water here, water there. Water, water everywhere.
sing for you now one of our old favorites, Twinkle Twinkle. We do sign language with this. We're going to have a little medley where we sing and do the sign language with it. We do a lot of ASL sign language because I want the kids to learn words that are actually our sign language. So we're going to do that for you now and play a little medley for you now. But before we do, Mr. Phillips reminded me each time, and I want to honor these people too. We have a wonderful fourth grade teacher, and this class you can see is a little bit bigger than the younger grades. It's because they have some independent study students in there. So I want to honor Miss Meyer, our independent study teacher. And so what's so cool about independent study is they get to participate in music, so they're coming in for a recorder, and it's a blast to have them. I also want to honor our fourth grade teacher, who, by the way, is very musical herself. She helps me with every Genius Hour that we do. She has got really great musical ability, and she works really hard at it. My good friend, Carrie Vickery, she's gonna... And so we're gonna play for you now a little Twinkle Twinkle. Really cool, you're gonna enjoy it, and I'll explain that here in a minute. But let's play first, right? So for our last one, I'm going to do something we've never done before. This whole class has finished the first book, but I told them I didn't want to test them on the last song, which is Ode to Joy. I didn't want to test them because I don't know, we were running out of time or whatever. We're going to test them right now. So they are going to earn their black belt in recorder karate, first degree black belt in recorder karate, right now, live for you.
over now to Mr. Manera. He's going to tell you all about the wonderful things our students have been doing. I'm guessing first they're probably going to tune up, so you might not recognize this first song. Sorry, I forgot my part. I've got my friend Ryan who's going to come up. Every morning at Stream we do this, and Mr. Phillips just forgot. So we're going to do this right now. He's going to tell you exactly what you need to do to be successful in the next couple of minutes.
Please stand. Face the flag. Salute, pledge.
So that was the one, that's my favorite one. That's the one that Mr. Walcott taught me when I was in 5th grade. That's number 18, Go Tell Aunt Rhody. What I tell them is, you're not an official band kid until you can play number 18, Go Tell Aunt Rhody. So that's kind of the first step. It takes us about 2 months to get there. But then once we get to that one, it's just, they start popping out. So we're gonna play you a bunch of those songs that we know tonight. And we're going to start with, or go to the next one, 25. Let's do it. Start to notice that the songs are going to get harder and harder, and so we're going to continue playing. But I want to talk a little bit about some featured players. They don't know I'm doing this, but I'm doing it. We have an awesome low brass section, and it's for the first time an all-girl low brass section. Trombone, tuba, Alina, Kenzie, Isabel. So you're going to hear them on this next one, along with everyone else. They're not, you don't have to lean in too much. They play loud. Now that one didn't sound that hard, but playing soft and slow, yeah, that's hard. They say that band kids mirror their band director. Fast and loud was my preferred way of playing. That's theirs too. So playing soft and slow, that's something that we really do work on. We're gonna play it fast and loud. For our last one, we're going to be sharing with you what we call the Holiday Remix. It was actually put together here by our teacher assistant, Jordan Harless. Yeah, future drum major, I'm sure. She said, hey, Mr. Monero, if we take my dreidel and we add this note in the middle, we can put jingle bells on the end of it. And I said, cool, we get to honor our Jewish brothers and sisters that celebrate Hanukkah, and we get to play some jingle bells. So we're going to do for you now the Holiday Remix. So I forgot to mention a couple important facts here. This is our biggest 5th grade band we've ever had because we've introduced the independent study program at our school. And so Miss Meyer, we give her a big round of applause in the first half. We'll give her another big round of applause. So there's 30 5th graders, and then there's, I believe, 6. So we have 36 5th grade band members, which is a big group, but we make it work. The other people that I want to mention are people who are very close to me, and they are both extremely talented music-wise. They support the band program, the music program, and they're founders of Stream, my aunt and uncle, Mrs. E and Mr. E. Give them a big round of applause. And in fact, one thing that really warms my heart, makes me feel good about what we do at Stream is Mrs. E is taking the 5th grade class to Prestige Elder Care Facility, and we're going to be doing this set for them on Tuesday at Prestige. So that just, I think, is the reason for the season, is to love the lonely and the people that maybe don't get a lot of attention. So I'm really, really happy to be helping do that and honor them. But that was it for our 5th grade band, so give them a big round of applause. Okay, we're going to play for you now, America the Beautiful. that was Carnival of Venice. Lots of solos, lots of entrances and exits. It's a tough one, but I think we did it pretty well. We're gonna move on to our last piece. My favorite moment of this one is the time that Mr. Phillips came in and he was kind of doing a little cha-cha for us because we were really getting that Latin groove. This one is called, maybe he'll do it again, I don't know. This one is called La Cucaracha. Oh, I forgot to mention. Sorry, I forgot to mention. It features our friend Cohen on maracas. Also, we've got a really hot trumpet section, and so when it comes to the melody of that, they're gonna stand and play it for you. Doing their job so well. But we're going to sing for you. Like Mr. Phillips said, we've only been playing this one a week or two. So we're going to sing it for you. We're starting to do some split parts. The other person that I wanted to honor is this guy to my left here. Started playing guitar only a year ago. And talk about those kids that just really practice like crazy. Every time we have a weekend or a Christmas break, I go, okay, now I bet we can play 10 hours a day. And so he's been playing guitar so much that I have, for the first time, invited a student to play guitar with me as we do a song with the choir. So enjoy now. This one is called In the Bleak Midwinter.
Earth stood hard as I
charter school, advanced band. You've seen us around town. We do the Veterans Day Parade, the Light Parade, the parades in the spring, as well as the Dream Big Festival. We're going to be doing, this is the first year that we've ever done the Light Parade, that the Light Parade is after the showcase, which is kind of different. We had to march rehearse and sit down rehearse all this week. We just split it up. We played our showcase, ran outside, marched, and packed it up every day. So it was kind of fun. So Saturday night will be the Light Parade. And leading the band are two wonderful drum majors. I've told this story a couple times, but I'll tell it again. I went to Isabella and Sophia each, and I said, "You want to be drum major?" And they said, "I don't know, Mr. Panera." And they knew that they had both talked to me individually, but then they talked to each other, and they were like, "Hey, Mr. Panera, we have a proposal. We want to be co-drum majors." And I said, "Well, I've never had that before, but it's worked out amazingly well. Here's how they sold me on it. They're like, one of us can be in the front of the band whistling commands, while the other one of us is at the back of the band yelling at everybody." And I said, "Great! Saves me from having to yell at everybody." So the two drum majors are absolutely great. They're going to come up now. They're going to conduct our two marches for the fall. Grand Old Flag, which you heard at Veterans Day, and then a little preview of Saturday night. Do you want to build a snowman? And let me plug this really quickly one more time. In light of Frozen 2, by the way, this was also their idea. In light of Frozen 2 coming out, we did this a couple years ago. We thought we would bust this out again. We're going to be hopefully known as the Frozen Band. We're going to play Do You Want to Build a Snowman? And we also have a couple of younger stream students, Evan and Isabella's little sisters, are going to dress up as Anna and Elsa and hand out candy. And so I'm really hoping that the little ones in our community will remember the Stream Frozen Band. So we're going to play for you now the Grand Old Flag and Do You Want to Build a Snowman? Ladies? Parade Route on Saturday night, you'll hear that one about 1,000 more times. So if you enjoyed that, join us for that. I want to talk a little bit about this band. We've got a really nice balance to our band. We have an army of clarinets, and they all play well. We have a great rhythm section. Our tubas and trombones and baritones and percussion are really awesome. And if you couldn't hear it, you might be deaf because Grayson is back there just laying down the rhythm on some bass drum. Absolutely. And he locks in the tempo. Anytime that our group kind of gets a little lopsided tempo-wise, I just go, Grayson, take it away, man. And so he really leads the charge in that. We're going to play for you now our concert piece that we've been really working on. This one is kind of a little bit of our showpiece. And so we're going to play for you now a tune by Larry Clark. It is called Character. And if you, it's so cool to have that many clarinets. If you heard that thing in the middle there, just the army of clarinets, but it was also just brought up and under by our friend Colby, plays tuba. When I came to Colby and I said, what instrument do you want to play? He said, I don't know. I said, well, if you play tuba, you get to play as loud as you want all the time. And he said, sold. And he does. He plays as loud as he can all the time. And it is wonderful. We love to have a great tuba section. Kaylee and Colby are doing a great job, and our army of clarinets are kind of featured on that one. We're going to finish off with something that you are going to be involved in. We're going to have the choir come forward as I'm talking, so choir, come on up. We're going to sing together old school style. I don't believe that people sing together enough. Sometimes we do in church, but otherwise, we don't really sing together very much. I love singing together because we all have one voice of one accord. And so we're going to do that now. We're going to sing Deck the Halls. Come on up. Don't be shy. We're going to sing Deck the Halls together. There's 3 verses. If you don't know the verses, we might have them up on the screen. And you can always follow along with us as we are going to deck the halls. And you know what? Let's all stand and sing Deck the Halls. Yeah, we gotta stand up for this. Here we go, ready? Oh, nice job, Mr. E. By the way, can I just give a quick shout out to Mr. Williams and Mr. E. running all the tech up there. Give them a big round of applause. They're working hard. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready.
If you're an alumni or a stream student and you want to stand across right here in front of the stage and sing along, I think that would be wonderful. If you'd like to be a part of that.
If you graduated from stream, we're our stream student now.
Just right across the front, right in front of the stage right here. You can sing along loud and proud if you're still here. Come on, Tatiana. We even have some graduates. Here we go. We're happy to have you all here. Thank you so much for being here this evening. Stand and join us as we sing.